And we're back again to talk about programs and how we're going to get to zero. When are we going to get to zero? Is that tomorrow? Is that too fast? All right, you got till next week. Yeah. I think if you've spent any time around me, you know that I feel a tremendous sense of urgency to get to zero. I feel that any time that we have animals in our care, that our job is to get them into someone else's care as quickly as possible. And as my presentation goes through this, you'll hear that theme again and again. I mean, what I really appreciate about Pam Reed's talk earlier was the notion of keeping pets sane in your care. That is so critical, because we can spend a lot more time on rehabilitation, medical care, treatment for disease, and behavior issues that come out of long-term confinement that distract us from finding the new homes and just completely mire down the system. So I love the enrichment. I love the toys. She gave you some great ideas for cost-effective solutions. I mean, who doesn't want to blow bubbles at kittens? Come on. I want that job. Hell with the volunteers. Sign me up. You think I can get paid to do that? You know, this is the question we ask ourselves nearly every day. If we're still euthanizing animals, then we have not found the solution. And if we continue to use the same strategies that we've been using for years and years and years, we're going to still be euthanizing animals because we haven't found the magic bullet. We're making progress. But we all know that even if we're talking about a sterilization program, we have to sterilize an incredible percentage of the reproducing population to get to that population to drop. When it comes to cats, we're talking about 70, 80, 90% of the cats. We can make progress, but just like Dr. Miller said, we can't adopt our way out of spay and neuter. And we can't spay our way or de-sex our way we can't adopt our way out of pet overpopulation. We can't de-sex our way out of pet overpopulation. But we've got to change the values along with all of those strategies. There's no single magic bullet. I wish I could come up here and say, I found it, I found it, I found it. But we have to put everything we know into play. And we have to put our strengths into play to make it happen. And this is our business model. We innovate. We evaluate those changes, we make modification to programs, we evaluate those programs, and then we innovate again. Does all of us have the capacity for novel, new, whiz-bang ideas? I'd love to think so. I think we all have the capacity to reach out and see what's working in other agencies and steal from the best. And that's what we've talked about in the past, where to find good ideas. Certainly in this room, I bet there's someone at this table that's doing something cool that that table isn't, and vice versa. So being here today and sharing ideas, being here for this week, those cocktail conversations, or the conversations that happen before breakfast, the sharing, dropping of barriers is what it's going to get us to zero euthanasia, along with some program changes that I hope you'll find interesting. This is what drives me every day. Time wasted equals lives lost. This is why I get up in the morning and I'm thinking about ways to save lives. This is why when I go to bed at night, I'm thinking about what can we do different to speed things up and move them through. Because at the end of the day, for me, it's a numbers game. It's about how many lives can I save. It's less about which lives, it's about how many. Because every life that sits in our shelter and waits for that home to come in, or waits to be evaluated, or waits to be desexed, or just simply waits to get over a cold, or to get through some separation anxiety that we're working on, means another pet can't come into my shelter. And if he can't come into our palace for pooches, that I call the Oregon Humane Society, most likely he's going to die in another facility. And I feel that every day. If you don't have that fire in your belly and that sense of urgency, find it, because this is what causes animals to die in shelters. We mess around, we don't take opportunities to move things through, we ponder, we evaluate, we need to stage things, and what I want you to get a sense of is urgency. Because at the end of the day, it's how many lives can we save? A lot of us have programs that may not fit into our mission. I'll be the first to say Oregon Humane Society had for a long time an animal-assisted therapy program. Lovely program. Dogs going to nursing homes, care facilities, give that gift of unconditional love. It's a lovely program. It cost us about $60,000 a year. And we did not have a spay and neuter assistance plan. So we get lots of baby puppies and kittens coming into our shelter, but we were not helping stem the tide. Meanwhile, we were providing this wonderful opportunity for people who didn't have a chance to have with pets. Did it fit our mission? Not so much. Did it cost us money? Yes. Did it distract us from programs that could have saved lives? Yes. So does it fit your mission? Look at your programs. Budget time's a perfect opportunity to do that. How much are we going to spend next year? What are we going to spend it on? And what's the bang for the buck? And I think a lot of us have policies that might be the problem. Now, here are some issues that I want to talk about because they're really common in shelters. Let's go back to 1989 when I came to Oregon Humane Society. We had that 3-day cooling off period. We didn't want anybody to make an impulse buy. Now we have pets available at PetSmart, which is a large pet supply chain. Come in, fall in love, take it home, test it out, bring it back if it doesn't work out. Our return rate is less than 5%. So if you're thinking that impulse buys leads to return rate, that is not our experience. And you know what? Returns aren't a bad thing. We have animals with unknown histories going into people who have, may have not thought things through. And if it doesn't work out, you know what the best thing is? When they come back, you know more. It's like, oh, he really doesn't like cats. Or maybe he likes cats too much. Oh, he's not good with kids. Oh, that garbage getting into thing. Oh, he pees all over things. Whatever. Or the people realize they weren't ready for a pet. It's an opportunity to learn. It's not an indication of failure. We used to not send puppies and kittens home with people who had children because we were deathly afraid some child was going to crush the kitten or the puppy. Now, I think you need to be smart about placing puppies and kittens and fragile dogs and cats with kids. You need to be smart, but we had a categorical ban on puppies going home with homes of children. Now we need to work smart. We can let them go. I mean, aren't you here today because you had a pet when you were growing up? Aren't you here today because you had animals when you're in your family? I'd like to think none of us abused, stepped on, pulled legs off of kittens and still made it to animal welfare. I think we need to trust that parents are good. They'll watch their animals. We can coach and we can resource and we can educate. But a categorical ban on puppies and kittens going to homes with children isn't helping us. We used to have a policy that if you were going to adopt a dog, you needed a 6-foot fence. Nope, it's a dog, you need a fence. And our clients did not have 6-foot fence. We live in a city. They didn't have 4-foot fences. They had a long history with dogs. They were able to successfully keep them. They weren't running afoul of animal control all the time with their dogs running at large, getting picked up. They had a long history of successful dog ownership. So we convened a group. I got to ask this question as well. Well, how do you make change happen? We convened a group of our employees, and we went through our adoption application, and we said, all right, how many of you own dogs? 10 people, all hands shot up. How many of you have a fence? People kind of looked around and go, ooh, should I tell the truth? Should I not? There's like 2 people. I was on the committee. I didn't have a fence. I had 2 dogs. I would not have been able to pass our criteria. And I guess that's the basis I would ask you. If your policies would restrict you from owning a pet, you need to look hard at your policies. Because you're not the exception. You're not the extraordinary. I'm sorry to break it to you. I think you're special for being here, but you're not the creme de la creme of the pet-owning community. And sometimes I wonder about animal shelter folks anyway. How many cats do you have? 1, okay, all right. I'm going to ask Sheila how many she's got in her bathroom today, because whatever. Yes, how many do you have? Yeah, 15, I don't know. Sheila's got a heart as big as all of Australia, so. If we can't pass our adoption policies, those policies need to change and evolve. And I think part of what we look at for our role in sheltering community is we're the protector, and that we deal with animals who have been abused and neglected and abandoned. And you know what? Animals come into our shelters for a lot of reasons. Some of them are the human reasons. Some of them are the animals' reasons. We just have got to start from a position of trust and let our clients lead to some other decision. People coming into your shelters are not the Antichrist. Some of your staff are like, oh yeah, you want a dog? Prove it to me. Fill out this application. Watch him fill out the application. There's like 4 questions that are, gotcha, we'll see if he gets them right. It's like your clients are coming out on the way to the airport, on the way to the dump, out to the hinterlands to where all of our shelters are located. They're choosing you. Help them be a good pet owner. You're already starting from a warm audience. Yeah, what's their pet owning history? Perfectly legitimate questions. Do they rent? Do they own? Well, you know, it's information. How are they going to keep the animal confined? How are they going to be a responsible pet owner? You don't need a 10-page application. I have to say our application's about 8 questions. I used to say that you could take out a mortgage and buy a house on the basis of 6 questions, and then 2007 happened with a housing crisis, so now we added a couple more questions. Really, we're talking about people who are choosing you as a source for pets. They could get the dog off the street. They could go to a pet store. They could go to a breeder. They could support a puppy mill, but they're choosing you. Help them with that choice. Help them make a good choice for their next companion. This is a long statement, but I think it's relevant. This goes to talking about why this rescue organization will not place female dogs in other homes with female dogs. Talks about hormone changes. They get bitchy when they ovulate. Is any of this sounding familiar to you ladies in the room? Yeah. So this rescue group has taken half the homes out of the market. If you got a female dog, you can't have another female dog. I thought, this is I've just never seen anything like this. I just never. Well, you know where it comes from? Cesar Millan's website. Yeah, oh yeah, that explains it all. Actually, this is from a rescue in Australia, and I don't mean to throw anyone under the bus. I just can't understand why female dogs can't live with female dogs. I mean, all of us get along in the room. We're all females. Well, there's occasional token man out here in the audience here, but come on. Thanks, Mark. Yes. So, you know, some of this stuff is manageable. Some of the stuff we're trying to move the needle here, but I don't know what I can say about a policy like this. So you got to ask, what are your self-imposed barriers to getting to yes? I think you should start from yes, and if you need to, get to no. If your clients have had 10 cats and they all got smashed by a car in the front of their house and they're not going to keep the next cat indoors, yes, we have a problem. But if your clients have had cats and they've lived long lives and maybe they don't list a veterinarian on their application, that's not a reason to say no. We have to start from yes and trust and respect and honor if we're going to save more lives. Well, I've said this before, that shelters are where animals die. So the best thing we can do is keep them out of their shelter, keep them out of our shelters. Stay within your means. You're not doing animals any more favors if your strategy is to take in 15 cats and put them in your bathroom. Sorry, Sheila, I don't mean to tell you anything. It's a temporary thing at Sheila's house. She's taking care of some ringworm babies. God bless you for doing that. If you are not able to provide humane housing, animals continue to linger in your shelter, I would encourage you to look at reducing your capacity. Adoption-driven capacity is a proven strategy for helping you decide how many animals should be in your care at any time. Having 200 probably doesn't increase your adoptions any more than having 20 available for adoption. And there's research that says people are overwhelmed by choice. They simply can't go into a store and see shelter system and see 200 cats available for adoption. They're going to walk away. I don't know. But I could wrap my head around 15 or 20. Whatever the magic number is. It depends on how many adoptions you're doing. There's a formula that will help you understand how many you should have available. And that's at UC Davis Shelter Medicine website. Admit only what you can care for. If animals get sick in your care, if animals lose weight, if animals linger, if you can't care for them properly and keep them sane, even with a bubble machine, you're taking in too many animals. We need to empower the public to solve their own problems. We need to rally the troops of our volunteers and foster parents and colleagues in the room. And we need to focus on that singular mission of saving lives. Warehousing isn't saving lives. Neither is euthanizing them is saving lives. We need to focus our programs, focus our efforts, and get rid of all the extraneous stuff that we do that doesn't have to do with saving lives in our facilities. I know, but there's so many cool programs. You're thinking, but God, what about the children? What about humane education? What about helping folks do something magical? I don't know, but if you're not working on the animals in your care and those programs are distracting you, I'm asking you to refocus. Yes, Oregon Humane has a humane education program. It's small. It could be bigger. We have a lot of demand for that animal-assisted therapy program, but we changed that. Now we train the animals to be good animal-assisted therapies, but we're not managing the volunteer program. We shuttled that off to another group so we could focus on what's related to our mission, and that's keeping pets in homes. I know. As if the cat would be helping the dog do anything. Unless it served the cat, yes. Preserve the bond, take in only what you can help what you take in, make it quick, do it again. Some of the areas that we've had help in is when we're talking about how we get animals through our shelter. If the animals are ready to go up for adoption, they go up for adoption. We handle that, we move animals up quickly that can be moved up quickly. If they're spayed and neutered, they go up for adoption right away. We don't take them in the order they came in, and I know that sounds fair. Well, this is the order that came in, first come, first served. This is it, you came in on a Tuesday, you're gonna go up on a Wednesday. Life is unfair. And I wanna get back to that bottom line of it's a numbers game. How many lives can you save today? So those puppies and kittens that come in, they're gonna go up right away. Even though we have older dogs that are gonna wait, we're gonna move those animals up, fast track them, get them up for adoption. And I gotta say, I love the animal behavior component. We don't waste time doing behavioral assessments on puppies and kittens. Unless there's a need to come out of an abusive situation, they're hoarding, they're demonstrating behavior issues. We don't ask too much. We have 4 standard profiles that Shelter Buddy helps populate. Kitten A gets one, kitten B gets another. Because you know what? In an hour or a day, they're going to be adopted. And your clients aren't listening to you anyway. We all would love to think they come in, they're listening to every word, they're just waiting for you to say the next gem of, brilliance about house training and toys and kids, and they're like, and what's going on in their head is blah, 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 blah. Ooh, I got to show it to my girlfriend. Uh-oh, I'm going away this weekend. Who's going to take care of the dog? He kind of reminds me, I wonder if I got a food bowl. And you're going on about vaccines, and he's got to be done in 2 weeks, and licensing. Do you have a license? And it's been, they're not listening. So stop talking to them. I know, Dr. Mellister's like, no, don't tell them that, don't tell them that. They're not listening. I'd love to do exit interviews like, well, what did you hear them say? Well, I really don't have a clue. We look at the application, are there red flags? No, great, sign here. We're here to help. That is our adoption policy. Our adoption program is 18 minutes start to finish, and that's only because we have to enter in all the information into Shelter Buddy. It's 18 minutes. And you know what? Our return rate's 5%. Our surveys show these pets are staying in the homes. And we do lots of follow-up. So instead of creating a filter to keep clients out of your shelter, we created a safety net to help them. So email them in 3 days, it's like, hey, how's it going? What's going on with Buffy here? And it's like, well, everything's fine. Or, Buffy's starting to do some things. So we're like, all right, here's our behavior number. Call us. Here's a class. Here's a resource. Here's our website. It's a safety net to preserve the bond. So we're not filtering out all but A-plus homes. I got to look in this room, hey, I'm not an A-plus pet owner. I've been cited for my dogs running at large. I was young. Does that qualify? No. I didn't have a fence. I've had a couple of pets get hit by cars because I didn't have a fence. I got a fence now. I can learn. But we're not all A+, so please don't expect your clients to fit through that narrow filter of A+. Because you're going to kill a lot of animals. You're going to stack them like cordwood waiting for A+ clients. Help them be better clients. Move them from a C client to a B client. Be the resource, not the barrier. Talked about manage admissions. Don't take in more than you can help. Keep track of your length of stay so that when those animals are starting to be here if your length of stay is 7 days and they're here for 3 weeks, what are the barriers? Oh, Nell, don't tell me I got 5 minutes. Jeez Louise. Power of your staff and volunteers cannot be overestimated. Or did I mean to say underestimated? One of you will figure it out and tell me later. Get folks together. The key people who are the drivers of your systems have a meet every day. It's not a weekly meeting. It's not once a month adoption meets with animal care volunteers gets looped in, and the medical team, which is always off in the other building, the other wing, the Independent Republic of Medical Services. None of that happens in your shelter, right? Bring them together. What are we going to do today? What's coming in? How are we going to go? I was thinking about this dog, and have you looked at that? You got to bring the people together. If you can't place it in 2 weeks, transfer it out. Is that radical thinking? There's a rescue group in here who wants to take your woebegons. Are they a bad rescue group? I don't know. But don't throw them under the bus because they're a rescue group, and they're a little different. And they don't seem to get along well with others. Just saying. But they can help you save lives. You got to be a little crazy to only want Persian cats with ringworm. Can they save them? I bet they can. Why do you want them after 2 weeks? Or maybe you should transfer them out after 3 days. If you're killing them, can you find someone else who wants to take them? What we do is we shuffle animals between our metropolitan shelters in the Portland metro area because we want a diversity of inventory. We have a retail model. If all I got is black dogs and you only got cats over here, how about we mix it up when we start getting people thinking, hey, I bet they got what I want because I was looking on their website. You got to share the burden. It's not up to the animal control agencies to do everything. It's not up to the rescue groups to do everything, and it's not up to the private humane societies to do it all. Find what you do best and find someone else who needs your help. Find someone else who does it best. Let them do it best. You do what you do best. This is our rescue truck. We serve over 60 agencies taking in pets. Promotions, we're always trying to get animals through. It's a retail model. These are some successful strategies. Name your price. Special events, you got the big adopt out going on here. Discount for your pets. We used to do a senior discount, and it was sort of a surprise discount. If you came in, you were a senior citizen, we had a discount. You could get your pet for free, but you didn't know that until you went to go pay for your pet. Now we market Senior Tuesdays. Try to push that adoption volume off the weekend onto Tuesdays. You know what? We're adopting more animals, and we get to choose the pets that qualify. Pets for Vets for veterans, cause-related marketing to help your sponsors help you get more pets out of here. This is a kitty closeout sale, free cat adoptions. Oh my God, are we really at free cat adoptions? How many of you could handle free cat adoptions? How many of you say, no way, hell no? Oh, come on. Yeah, there's an honest person. I'm sort of there, but you know what? People were getting them for free anyway. Undesexed. Yeah. Expand your capacity. We have animals at veterinary hospitals, doggy daycares, office dog for a day, pet supply stores. You don't really have Halloween here, and you sure as hell don't adopt out rabbits. Can't explain why I chose those two things to focus on. Some of our promotions that work very well for us. We target black cats for Halloween. It used to be we wouldn't adopt any black cats the week before Halloween because you, sir, could come in and be a satanic worshiper and want to take our black cat. Now we have a special. All black animals half off. Time for Halloween. If you come in a pointy hat, dude, you're not getting a cat. Draw the line. Having foster programs ready to take in your babies. Don't start looking for a foster home once your pets are in the shelter. Know when your pets are coming in and have those foster homes ready. Swoop in, take them home. Don't even let them touch their feet in the shelter. Volunteers are essential. If you come to our talk on Saturday, we'll talk a lot about volunteers programs. We have 1,700 volunteers. They do everything. They're probably sitting at my desk right now. Signing checks, filling out paperwork. They're highly skilled labor. These people are talented. They just didn't come off the street because you're oh, Nell's telling me 0. I'm going to pull a Pam Reed on you. I'm going to ask for 2 more minutes. Is that okay with you, Mark? Can I bargain? All right, Mark's like, go for it. Take 2, all right. Volunteers are highly skilled labor. They're professionals in their own right. The people who work in our medical clinic doing pack and prep, they're surgical nurses in their profession. They handle the whole area. They told us how to do it right, and we listened, and we let them do it. They're just like employees. Don't get along, they got to go. But they are your most valuable resource in your shelter. We have a partnership with the College of Veterinary Medicine. Veterinary students spend 3 weeks at our shelter doing a primary care rotation. They all leave knowing how to desex animals at 8 weeks. They all know what animal cruelty looks like and their role in solving it. They understand what makes pets homeless. And it's free labor. Hey, what else do you need? Talented fourth-year veterinary students. But we're looking at a 5-year out payout. When those folks own their own clinics, they're starting to make decisions, they become board members, and oh my God, yes, they become donors. This is really the success for any partnership. You got to have trust. You got to believe people have honest intentions. You got to back it up in writing. And then here's some examples of partnerships that have worked out. Oregon Humane Society, Texas A&M, Houston SPCA, Washington State University, Seattle Humane. We were the first to create this in the United States, and now we have, out of 27 vet schools, 14 that are looking in establishing a partnership with the Humane Society. If you want to talk more about it, please contact me directly. Sorry, these are some great resources for you in the PowerPoint whenever Nell surfaces. She will have all of this available on the website for you to download and those links. So I think you know where I'm coming from. Don't mess around. Don't waste time. Wasted time is lives lost. Figure out what your role is to getting animals through your shelter and start from a position of trust. And I guarantee we're going to get to 0 if we can all adopt a little bit of that in our own agencies. Thank you.